Hello once again, my fellow Star Trek fans. I'd like to welcome you to another video. This video is going to be on my favorite subject, Star Trek. Now, when it comes to Playmates, which is the topic of today's video, I've shown you the communicator. So now, I want to show you guys the phaser. Now, this is more nostalgia because I like the older classic collector items from Playmates. Of course, you guys, I've shown you the One Company phaser, so that's really not a fair assumption to make where you compare these, but it'll still be fun to take a look, and let's see if it still operates. Oh, it still has the sounds. And you can see this is the classic Star Trek, classic phaser. Starfleet standard issue sidearm. Light up beam emitter and set phaser to full, stun, or overload. Playmates. Nice. You can see the Enterprise up in the distance. Let's see. The top of the box, classic phaser. We got that same picture with the light up beam and settings. The ends of the box, they're usually identical on both sides, and it's pretty much the same so far. Yep. So let's take a look at the side. This is 2022. So I guess the StarTrekToys.com, yeah, so I guess I was fooled. I thought this was actually vintage. This is not vintage, this is new. So, this is a newer one, so we'll see if there are any improvements over this. It requires 2 AA batteries. Alright, let's take a look at the box. I was wondering why there was no collector item number on the front. You can see the phaser pistol, the light up beam emitter, the phaser power switch, and the settings dial. And you can adjust the phaser setting and press the trigger for light up beam and firing sound. So I guess the type 1 and the type 2 do not separate. And you can see the code and the websites that are on it. Obviously they didn't have that for the original release. And then we go to the captain's log. Stardate 9404.01, excuse me. Classic phaser, unclassified. The classic phaser configuration consists of a Type 1 phaser interlocked with a Type 2 phaser body. The Type 2 phasers combine to create a powerful defensive weapon with minimal phase degradation. The classic phaser was standard issue to all officers in Starfleet. Designed around the Federation's policy of creating weapons for defensive purposes, the classic phaser is a prime example of early Starfleet innovation. This classic phaser's simple yet highly effective design made it one of the most reliable weapons of its time, highly powerful with adjustable settings. Classic phaser was the paradigm for the early portable defense sidearms. Again, you can see the picture. So, that being said, I had seen the newer ones for sale, and the new packaging had Captain Kirk, the illustration of him up on the side, and that's what I thought, that there was some new ones. But when I saw this, I thought this was actually the vintage one. But I apologize. I was expecting to show you guys the vintage one, but that's okay. Why don't we take it over to the desk and we'll have a look, see what it looks like. Alright, so we can get a better look in the light. So why don't we go ahead? It has the tape on the side of the box. So why don't we go ahead and cut that. Another dead giveaway too, where you can see that it's not vintage, is that we have a plastic tray that it shipped in, whereas with the original, everything was in cardboard. So let's take a look. Let's see, it's got some paperwork first. Let's take a look at this. And you can see where the batteries are going to go on the handle, and you can see the off, on, and the demo switch that's on top over there. And we've got the settings for the power settings. And you can see, press the trigger to activate phaser sounds. Note that in overload mode, pulling the trigger once will start the overload sequence. Turn the dial at the side of the phaser from off to demo to on for full play. If the phaser is not working, try resetting it. To reset, turn to off, and then turn on. If the phaser is still not working, try replacing the batteries. To change batteries, unscrew the battery cap, take out the old batteries and replace with 2 AA batteries and replace the battery cap. And you can see some of the safety instructions for the do's and don'ts of batteries, non-rechargeable, things like that. And you can see 2022 CBS Studios. All right. So I think what I'm going to do is, it might be fun to actually, because I still don't have one of the vintage ones. So I'm thinking I can get a vintage one and we can do a side-by-side comparison and see how they've changed. And again, you could tell right off the bat when you have the plastic tray that it comes in. Let's put that to the side and check it out. And the Type 1 and the Type 2 do not come apart. Of course, this is the Type 1, and when it's on its own, and then when it's in the pistol, it's the Type 2. And it says this lights up, but all right, let's try to put it, right now it's in demo mode. So let's switch it to on, and we'll see if we can get the piece to light up. Yep, here we go. That's better. And I think that's stun. You can see the little light on the dial, and that's pretty interesting. Not even the wand company lights up on a dial, nor does the Diamond Select. All right, let's try to set it to a more lethal setting. Uh-oh, we set it to overload by accident. You remember when Captain Kirk and they were looking for the phaser on overload, and it was up in the red alerts, the red alert light behind the glass, and the safety, but that's just for show. Let's see if there's another. Let's do another setting. We're gonna do. You can see, wow, look, the light actually changes colors. It was red for the overload, and I think this is the set to kill. Yep. And you can see it's got a blue. Oh, what's that called again? The beam emitter. And it'll stay as long as you hold the trigger. I gotta tell you guys, right off the bat, my impressions of this, if you can't afford, and let's face it, most of us can't afford the wand company phaser. Again, that's not a fair comparison with this, but this is really cool. This is pretty cool. I really like this. Like I said, even the Diamond Select does not have the light up on the dial, and I've shown you the Diamond Select version of the phaser. I've shown you the Diamond Select communicator, and I've shown you the Playmates communicator, and now the Playmates phaser. I've shown you the tricorder as well. Speaking of tricorder, I can't wait until I'm able to show you guys the Wand Company tricorder. Hopefully that happens sometime in the foreseeable future. But let's see if you can adjust. Nope, you can't adjust the beam emitter. And on the Wand Company, you could take this off and you can actually see the crystal, the dilithium crystal inside that powers the unit. All right, let's go to stun. And you can see stun is red. And when you pull the trigger, the beam emitter is red. And again, you can see it's red for stun, it's red for overload, and it's blue for the kill phase. And again, this is really cool. I really like this. Now I really want to get the vintage one, and I want to see what the differences are, because there's got to be differences. I don't think they had a light in the back for the original one. So you can see the dials on top. They don't move. They're just stationary for show. And you can see the speaker. Put the lights out so you guys can check out the beam emitter. Try to get the shadows. All right, there we go. So we got the highest setting. And we have the dial in blue. We switch it over and we can go to stun. And that actually has the dial light up blue. Oh, excuse me, red. You can see a little bit of light leak in there, but you can see it red. Now when you set it to destruct or overload, it also turns red, and it actually blinks to warn you that you set the phaser in overload mode. And then when you pull a trigger, yeah. So we'll put it back to the highest setting. The blue, the light will come on, and you'll be able to defend yourself. All right, let's put the lights back on. So like I said, all in all, and this was, man, this was like 20 bucks. With free shipping off Amazon, I think 22. Again, that should have tipped me off too, as to the year that this was manufactured. I was thrown off by the box, because sometimes, you know, they'll change the box. Like I have seen the box where it was Captain Kirk in the upper right-hand corner, but this is the actual vintage style packaging. So this is the phaser by Playmates, but this is the 2022 upgraded edition. This isn't the vintage one. So I think what I want to try to do is, at some point, I'm going to get the vintage one, and we'll do a side-by-side comparison, because I've showed you guys the reissue of the USS Enterprise from Playmates, and that one was pretty cool. And what we're going to do is I want to do a video where I do a side-by-side comparison of the original release. So that'll be fun. I'll be doing that video soon. And we'll do the same thing when I get another phaser. Again, that's a cool little function. The dial that lights up. I don't think that the actual phasers on screen do that. The Diamond Select doesn't do that. nor does the Wand Company phaser do this. So if Playmates wanted to stand out, I guess that they did. So this is like a perfect prop too. You know, if you gotta going to a costume party, or you're going to maybe even a convention, and you can have this on your side, and it wouldn't be the end of the world if something happened to it, you know, because if you don't want to, and who would, take your Wand Company one and risk having something happen to it. But you walk around with your hand phaser, standard issue Starfleet hand phaser. You wouldn't be too worried about something happening to this one because of the price, and this is 2022 Playmates. So my friends, if you were wondering about the brand new version, I'm sure it's a lot better than the original release, at least with some of the functions. I don't know if the original release had all the power functions or the self-destruct. Like I said, we'll get one, and we'll make a video of that, and then we'll do a comparison video. So my friends, I hope you enjoyed this quick little video. Until my next video, live long and prosper.